I am Morpheus.
Think about it. Yeah.
Think about it, because the slave masters were what? They were black. I know this is kind of
hard.
kind of shocking for the audience, but think about it. If the French and the Spanish and the Portuguese were swarthy or black in 1751, then that mean, and see, when you look at the timeline, King George did not. I think it was the Paris Peace Treaty of 1763, when he relinquishes his rights to the colonies. He relinquishes his rights to the Eastern Seaboard, but he does not relinquish his rights to the Southern states because he did not own the Southern states. Go back and read. But in 1803, the Brits purchased the slave states with the Louisiana Purchase, Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, states like that. But if you go back and look at the condition, at what was taking place at that time, you got to go back and look at the Pope. The Pope, I think, was in 14. Don't quote me on this because it's late where I'm at. I'd normally be asleep. But the Pope issues the Dum Diversa. I think it was in 1452. My date might be off. He issues the Dum Diversa, which states that any people or nation that is not Catholic, you can confiscate their goods and enslave them for life. So slavery it had nothing to do with race. It was based on religion. You guys still with me?
I'm listening. I'm here with you.
That's deep, baby. So every once in a while, the Gentile historian or the white historian says, "Oh, they were black slave masters." That was not the anomaly. That was the norm. And some of you all are hearing this for the first time. And I said this, and you can quote me on this. And I would deal with this with any of the scholars that are listening. The original slave masters were black Frenchmen, black Spaniards, black Portuguese. And it was the Vatican had flipped these nations. These nations used to be Protestant nations. See, this is where King James come into the picture. See, King James was a Hebrew Israelite. He was a Jacobite. And King James, the Vatican, they tried to kill him, was called the Gunpowder Plot. They tried to blow him up. And so King Charles, his son, who was swarthy, issued a decree that they put a hit out on the Pope. It's in the introduction. I'm going to repeat myself.
In the introduction, pull it
It's in the introduction of the original 1611 King James Bible, where King James and his sons, King Charles I and Charles II, put a hit out on the Pope and his Archbishop.
Hold on
Quote
a second.
me on that.
Hold on a second. No, we're going to do better. Because, see, we got the link. We're going to pull it up. We got time tonight. We got time tonight.
King James Version, huh?
I said, hey, listen, I got time tonight, Lee. We got time. Let's go in. Because, see, all these sources you gave out, their sources back up what you were saying. So I'm going to make sure people know that you're not just saying something that you're just saying.
Man,
you know what I mean? Like, there's a link behind it.
I know the people out there probably saying, this is insane. This is
insane.
No, it's not.
Right, it's insane. No,
if you go back, if you walk a perfect timeline and you stay away from the government-sponsored school system and deal primarily with the eyewitness account. What does that mean? The guy that had the boots on in that generation. Why you dealing with a historian in 2022 when you can go backwards in time and look through the eyes of the individual who had boots on, who was right there?
Right.
And Benjamin Franklin happened to be that guy. Pull up his essay, 1751, out of his own mouth, he says the French, the Spanish, the Germans, the Italians, the Swedes, and all of America and Asia was swarthy.